Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to FSU Weather Wednesday edition. We've made it halfway through our week so far, but we still have an active weather week ahead of us with cold fronts, tropical storms, and more. Currently 82 degrees in Tallahassee. With a pretty clear sky right now, it's managed to clear up a bit. Hopefully we'll have a nice sunset for tonight. Current temperatures 86 degrees in Tallahassee, 80 in Crawfordville, and 81 in Apalachicola. So still seeing warm temperatures right now, but that's going to be cooling off really fast as that cold front's coming through. And that's what you see right here, moving through our area, bringing us through those showers that'll hopefully be gone by tomorrow morning, leaving behind drier, cooler weather and not as much rain coming through. As for tonight's headlines, first major cold front incoming, as we just discussed. Tropical Depression 18 has developed, and rainy nights give way to clear, dry, and cool conditions for our week ahead. All this and more on FSU Weather starting right now.
Meteorologist Josh Green.
And I'm student meteorologist Elizabeth Temple.
And you know, we've got a great show for you today. We actually got a lot of different weather topics going on right now, locally here and around the globe tropically.
Oh yeah, we have our first cold front of the season coming. It is just in time for our first day of fall. I don't know about you, Josh, but I am so excited for it.
Yes, that's definitely our main headline here today. Locally in Tallahassee, we will have that cold front moving through our area around Thursday afternoon, Friday evening, and then after that, we've got cool temperatures and dry, clear skies.
Yes, absolutely. Also, we just saw our two last name storms, Peter and Rose, in the Gulf of Mexico, but I think that they are not any threat to land right now.
Right, so Peter and Rose are out there in the Atlantic right now, but both of these tropical systems have diminished significantly over the past few days, especially over the last 24 to 48 hours. They're both kind of just roaming around out there in the Atlantic. We won't have to worry about those for a threat for the mainland U.S., but we do have another tropical system forming that's a little closer to the African coast that we may have to look out for.
Yes, absolutely. And it is always important to stay on topic and to pay attention to the tropics because honestly, at this point in mid-September, we are in our peak of hurricane season.
Right. Don't let these cooler temperatures fool you. The Gulf of Mexico is still really warm, a lot of water, so we got to look out for that. But anyways, we're going to take a little more locally with student meteorologist Chandler.
That is right, Josh. Thank you guys for covering a little bit of the tropics, a little taste of what we're going to see tonight on this edition of FSU Weather. Currently, we're sitting at 82 degrees with scattered clouds. We thankfully have had those showers pass by. Winds are coming out of the northwest at 12 miles per hour. That's a great sign of the cold front that is sweeping through at this very moment. And taking a closer look at that cold front, you can see that it is making its way along I-10 close to Lake City. Some actual lightning produced through these storms. It's also making its way off the coast of St. Mark's. Looking at the temperature Almanac today, we reached a high of 91, so a little bit above average. Our low was right around average at 70. Obviously, we didn't even touch these records that were set in 1925 and 1913. So overall, pretty moderate day. Looking at the temperatures, mostly 80s across all the area, except for when you go up to Valdosta, 78. That is a taste of what we can see over the next few days. And taking a look at the current dew points, we have 70s across the area, except for in Donaldsonville, and that is that's symbolic of what you can expect over the next few days as this cold front sweeps through and we see drier conditions. And taking a look at the future radar, well, the showers do pass by through the overnight hours, and well, then we have clear skies and much better conditions over the next few days, especially tomorrow and into Friday. We also have a rainfall forecast upwards of about half an inch to an inch and a half in some areas just to our east. And for tonight's forecast, we can expect 60s across the area. 61 in Bainbridge, they're going to get pretty chilly, maybe even get towards 50 in the 50s. And taking a look at tomorrow's forecast, wow, this is a great relief from what we have been seeing. We're seeing temperatures around the 80s for the most part, in Leon County and along even the coastline. Tonight in Tallahassee, 61 with showers clearing. And then tomorrow, you can expect 80. Look at that sunshine. That's so great. Winds coming out of the north at 10 miles per hour, so a little bit brisk, but again, really enjoyable conditions. And over the week ahead, you can expect 80s for tomorrow and Friday, so really great conditions. We'll see some 60s as our lows and even 56 between Thursday and Friday. So great conditions overall. We'll hand it off to Ian to take a look at Florida and see if maybe the peninsula will get a little bit of this taste of fall.
Yeah, thanks, Chandler. So looking out here over at Florida, as you can see, quite a lot of shower coverage down here in South Florida, but not so much up here in North Florida. We got a little bit of some shower activity up caused by that cold front, but here in South Florida, we're seeing a lot of shower activity, lots of lightning activity too. So zooming in here on the panhandle, as you can see, we've got that cold front pushing through. You can see that right there, making some scattered showers and thunderstorms that we've seen today. But as that pushes through, we'll really dry out over here in the panhandle. Over here in Panama City, as you can see, it is quite nice out here. The sun is shining. It's only 83 degrees right now, and pretty healthy wind of 14 miles per hour out of the west-northwest here. Taking a look at Apalachicola Radar, as you can see, more of that cold front pushing through, maybe some thunderstorm activity up near Live Oaks. Jacksonville getting some shower activity, all caused by that front that's pushing through right now. You can see it right there. Up in North Florida, as you can see, there's some of that shower and thunderstorm activity in Jacksonville. That was a big lightning producer right there. Certainly wouldn't want to be a part of that. Taking a look at Gainesville here, as you can see, quite sunny, maybe some clouds, 85 degrees right now, and a light wind of west at 3 miles per hour. Cold front probably hasn't reached them quite yet. And here, South Florida, as you can see, wow, look at that. That is quite the thunderstorm complex that was over there in between Miami and Boca, maybe around the Fort Lauderdale area. As you can see, West Palm maybe got the shower and thunderstorm activity up there. Certainly a wet one here. Not a great beach day down in South Florida, I'll tell you that. And taking a look at Miami, as you can see, look at that, rainy and 75 degrees right now. So maybe a little cool thanks to that rain, but certainly not a good beach day, as I was saying. And looking at the current temperatures, as you can see, that rain has really cooled down South Florida down there. We're 75 in West Palm Beach, 82 up in Tallahassee, 77 in Pensacola. Take a look at that. That is quite nice. 86 up in Jacksonville, and mid to high 80s in Central Florida. And look at those dew points right now. Really humid down here in South Florida, 73, 75 in Miami, 77 down in Key West. But we can see that cold front approach, as you can see, with the lower dew point values. As that cold front pushes through, it's going to push through our area and lower those dew points for our region. And looking at the next 24 hours, as you can see, that cold front's going to push through, sort of stall around here, not reach South Florida quite yet, but for us, we're going to cool down really nicely and dry up. So really great weather conditions coming up in the next few days. And tonight in Florida, as you can see, 56 degrees in Tallahassee. That is lovely. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to that. 59 up in Jacksonville, 59 in Pensacola. And as you can see, that front is going to stall out right around north to Central Florida, and South Florida is going to remain quite normal. And tomorrow, as you can see, 82 up in Tallahassee and mid to high 80s up in Miami. Okay, and I'm going to hand things off to Melissa for the National. Sorry.
Thanks, Ian. We have a lot of cooler temperatures across the entire country right now. 64 in Seattle right now, 78 in Denver. And that's all from that cold front that has made its way across the entire country and is moving through Tallahassee at this time. And behind it, you can see those dew points. That cold front is sitting right along here, and that cold front is pushing all that moisture out. So those dry dew points that we're seeing out in Salt Lake City and Denver will be moving into the Tallahassee area within the next few hours, and we'll start seeing those drier conditions tomorrow. As for our wind speed, it's a bit faster over by that front line and a little bit slower out west. So just going to be a little bit of wind coming through as that system continues to move through. Our national radar, here's that cold front we were just talking about, moving through the southeast right now and the northeast as well, pushing through all that rainfall and cooler, drier conditions. And up into the west, we have another cold front behind it trying to make its way through as well. So we could even see cool temperatures again next week after that cold front passes through, as another one tries to make its way through as well. And with that cold front, drier conditions are coming through. It's that dry air over Dallas and moving into Alabama and Georgia right now. We're going to be seeing that within the next few hours here in Tallahassee. I know a lot of us are looking forward to that. We've had super duper high dew points lately and making it really miserable out for much of the area. Our northwest radar, you see that little swirl going on as that low pressure system is beginning to move towards land, and a little bit of rainfall starting up. That's not going to change anytime soon. Cold fronts are associated with a lot of rainfall before they bring those cooler, drier temperatures. So if you're looking at that coming towards you, you're going to want to be looking out for severe weather. As for our low pressure up in the northeast, you see that rainfall, as we were just saying, hammering much of this northeast right now. Severe thunderstorm warning over in Pittsburgh, and even earlier there was a tornado watch as well. So definitely an area that we need to look out for right now. Make sure you're checking the weather. We've got flash flood warnings and flash flood watches all in effect at this time from those storms coming through. Can be a potentially dangerous situation. If you see that flooding, turn around, don't drown. You can't tell how deep that is until you get into it. So make sure you're not putting yourself in an unsafe position and you're keeping you and your family safe. As for our eastern Gulf back here in Florida, the tail end of that cold front is moving through Tallahassee, and it's going to be moving down towards Miami as well. So while its base of Florida may not get as cool, we will see some cooler temperatures here in Tallahassee. For southern Texas, actually it's looking pretty dry right now, not a whole lot of rainfall, but there is a bit of cloud cover right now. But overall, it should be a pretty nice night. For our watches and warnings, there is still a fire hazard over in Colorado, over by Denver that you need to look out for. So even though we're seeing rainfall, you need to make sure you're not putting out any cigarette butts in any dry areas. Then once again, over in the northeast, we're still seeing those flash flood warnings and watches and a severe thunderstorm risk in effect right now. For our storm outlook, we're looking at the chance for thunderstorms, and in the northeast where that system is, we are looking at a slight chance for severe weather. That includes tornadoes, hail, and strong winds. So make sure you're looking out for that and you're not getting yourself into any unsafe situations. For tonight, see those temperatures beginning to drop. 50 in Denver, 59 in Fort Worth, and 63 in New Orleans, and 56 here in Tallahassee. We have not seen 50s in this area for quite a while. I know a lot of people are super excited about that. And tomorrow, we're going to see those cool temperatures from that cold front coming through. 69 in Seattle, 83 in Denver, and we're looking at 78 and 80 in Tallahassee. So we've been talking about cold fronts, but some of you may not know exactly what a cold front is. Hopefully Chandler and Ian can help clear some of that up for you.
Thank you, Melissa, for giving us a good view of the national forecast. And yes, the whole entire nation has, in fact, experienced this cold front. And, well, let's take a look at the statistics and facts about a cold front. Really, honestly, the first feature that I would say about a cold front is that it's a broom, right?
Yeah, that's right. It kind of sweeps through the nation and really cools down those temperatures and dew points.
Exactly. As you can see in this graphic, it is really sweeping through the Great Lakes and into the Appalachian Mountains.
Yep.
So how about you tell us a little bit about these cold fronts, Ian?
Yeah, sure. So typically it's a front edge of a cooler air mass and it enters a warmer region. And usually they are spawned off these big extratropical cyclones that will sweep through the nation, as we were talking about with that broom. And a lot of times ahead of these cold fronts, we can see a lot of thunderstorm activity, sometimes some severe weather too.
Exactly, yes. We're seeing that even up into Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh areas specifically. Also, they're usually stronger in the fall and spring, and obviously we're starting to get into that fall time of year, so we can expect that these will be pretty strong.
Yeah.
And of course, because they're strong, we'll see those temperatures really cool suddenly. We can even see that in our western viewing area, in the western Big Bend area.
Yeah. Yeah, so also that dew points, what we were talking about, we can finally have a break from that humidity. I don't know about you, but it has been humid here, humid. I was walking around outside and it was just horrible last night, horrible.
Oh,
So we can expect highs in the upper 70s and lows in the low 60s, maybe even some 50s. And like we were saying, the dew points are going to fall to the 50s where they've been in the mid to high 70s recently. So that's quite the relief. And look at that, 42 degrees in Grand Isle, Nebraska.
Nebraska, yes. Yeah. Actually, we have a good friend, David, that is in that area, and he told us and reported to us that that temperature is what they're seeing in Nebraska. Slightly jealous, although being in Nebraska, not as jealous. But yes, you can see that cold front really stretching from the North Gulf all the way up towards the Great Lakes. It's a pretty massive system and has all that juice and energy about it. But talking about massive systems, there's also, of course, the tropical kind I'm speaking of hurricanes. So let's toss it off to Josh, who'll take a look at the hurricane outlook for the Atlantic.
Thanks, fellas. We appreciate that educational piece that we got on our cold front that will be coming to our area very, very soon. But we're going to switch over to now to more of a national scene, the tropics. A lot going out in the Atlantic right now. We've got 2 active storms. This one is Tropical Depression Peter. Peter used to be a tropical storm, looked pretty good, but it's definitely weakened over the past 24 to 48 hours. Here's a look at the IR satellite. You can even notice here that it's just not as strong as it used to be, especially heading into the latter hours of today. Taking a look at the water vapor associated with Peter, you see these darker colors, especially the purples and the oranges and the reds, are really more water vapor that's associated with the storm. And what we're seeing here is that dissipating as we get closer into tonight and tomorrow morning. So this storm is evidently shrinking in size and intensity. The projected path for Tropical Depression Peter, nowhere near the U.S. So we don't need to worry about this system. It's just going to head north, take a little bit of an eastern track as well. So luckily, no one's going to have to worry about Peter in any time soon. So our next storm that we've been keeping an eye on is now Tropical Depression Rose, who also used to be Tropical Storm Rose. So it's just as Peter, Rose has definitely weakened over the past 24 to 48 hours. Right now, winds are at 35 miles per hour, a pretty high pressure, 1,009 millibars for a tropical system. Normally, we like to see those pressures go way down for strengthening. And you can see on this IR satellite, even those brighter colors have definitely seemed to fade away. Now, the water vapor for this storm definitely going away. Not even much precipitation associated with this tropical depression anymore. So luckily, well, we won't have to worry about this one, just as we won't have to worry about Peter. It's just going to go straight north in the Atlantic and definitely take a lot more of an eastern path by Sunday, nowhere near us. But there is one storm we are going to have to keep an eye out for right now. It's Tropical Depression 18. It's just recently been upgraded from an invest. Right now, winds sustained at 35 miles per hour. Pressure is still a little high at 1,008. But this is a storm that's just been born. So it's definitely strengthening right now. It's going to try to get its act together, and this one could be coming more towards the U.S. coast, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. The water vapor for this storm, you can see a lot has been starting to fire up down here, so it's trying to form a center of circulation to try to gain some momentum around. Now, the projected path for this storm is definitely not in the Gulf right now. It's more in the Atlantic coast. That's just our graphics right there. Now, here's the spaghetti plots, something we'll have to keep an eye out for. We're definitely seeing a western track right now. The mainland U.S. is right past it, so we'll have to make sure that that doesn't bring any unnecessary weather towards us. Key messages for this storm are that there's a lot of uncertainty right now because it's very early on. It's not a U.S. threat, at least within the next week, so we won't have to worry about that. But the Caribbean and U.S. interests should try to keep an eye out for it. Our RI satellite right now for a storm that's kind of been dissipating, not much to go there. Water vapor associated with that storm. It's looking pretty decent right now, but we aren't going to have to really worry about that in terms of our area. A more zoomed out look, you can see a little bit of a center of circulation. But for now, we're going to take a break from the tropics, and we're going to look more locally.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Taking a look here at Doak Campbell Stadium. Not as sunny as it was earlier in the show. Maybe some cloud cover, maybe some showers and thunderstorms happening over Doak Campbell. But right now, only 82 degrees with some of those scattered showers we're seeing here. And a wind kind of picking up at north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. So looking at the temperature almanac, as you can see, today's high was 91, quite hot, and the low was only 70. So we're right around average for this time. Obviously nowhere near the record highs and lows, but we'll see those temperatures definitely decrease with that incoming cold front. So looking at the hour by hour, as we can see, temperatures are really going to dip down tonight, probably a little bit cooler than this. I don't know about this, and definitely get quite hot in the afternoon. Looking at the Tallahassee Radar, as you can see, some of those showers and thunderstorms associated with the cold front pushing through. You can really see the motion of those storms following that front as it pushes through the area, as you can see. And zooming on out to the regional radar, seeing, again, lots of those showers and thunderstorms down in South Florida and Central Florida as well. And you can really see that front here pushing through. And if we go up more, that's the sort of center of that extratropical cyclone. And looking at the future radar, that is the front fully pushing through and really clearing up as we get into tomorrow and the next couple days. As you can see, it is a gorgeous day we're planning for tomorrow. And our current local temperatures, as you can see, a little warm, 86 degrees in Tallahassee, 82 in Monticello, 83 down in St. Mark's, only 80 in Crawfordville, but watch for those temperatures to decrease as we go through the night and the next couple of days. So for tonight's forecast, as you can see, 65 here in Tallahassee, 60s across the whole region, 61 up in Bainbridge, so really quite comfortable temperatures, certainly for this time of year. Again, tonight in Tally, 61 degrees, and showers are clearing. Maybe a wind of north at 11 miles per hour, but really looking for the cloud cover and the showers to push out of this region. And for tomorrow's forecast, gorgeous across the region. Sunny and only 80 degrees here in Tallahassee, 70s up in Quincy and southern Georgia here. Our dog walk forecast really quite nice here. 63 degrees, 73 by noon, and only 78 at 3 p.m. And for our week ahead, as we can see, that cold front is going to be pushing through, cooling down our temperatures, and watch for things to warm up here. So for now, I'm going to pass things off to Chandler.
Thank you. Yes, so looking at that cold front sweeping through Tallahassee, well, it's also going to sweep through a lot of the southeast. So that is, of course, what we're going to talk about here for the next couple minutes. In Gainesville, right now, they're sitting pretty sunny. Of course, we don't really talk about them, so let's go ahead and move on. Bowling Green, they're looking at those clouds clearing out, of course, associated with that cold front that already went past them. And Blacksburg, right now, the cold front is actually right on top of them. And in Atlanta, Georgia, again, it's clearing out for them, and they're already at 72 degrees, so really sitting nice and pretty. Of course, for this segment, I'm going to point out the cold front a lot of times. Well, we can see it right here up into western North Carolina, seeing Atlanta, 73 degrees, but then going over into Charleston, 82 degrees. So you can see that there's a pretty big temperature difference between just one state. And taking a look at farther west, of course, more of those 70s and 80s, low 80s, in fact. Of course, Florida is the exception to that rule with upper 80s. And they're also the exception to that rule when it comes to the dew point. You see a green thumb sticking out for most of the Florida Peninsula and rides up the coast through the Carolinas and into the Mid-Atlantic. But that cold front will sweep right through and knock out all those dew points and really give us a nice, crisp, refreshing experience, at least in the southeast, maybe not in South Florida. Taking a look at the national radar, well, again, that cold front really just making its way through the Carolinas, specifically the eastern southeast, and it's really just surging a lot of moisture up towards the Mid-Atlantic and into the Virginias and, of course, into the Pennsylvania area as well, like we were mentioning earlier. But in North Florida, well, the showers are making their way across I-10 and towards Jacksonville, so you guys are not out of the woods yet. And in South Florida, like Ian was mentioning earlier in this show, we got a lot of showers going on in that area as well. But even more showers in my neck of the woods in North Carolina. You can see that there's a pretty strong line of storms right here that are taking their way through the Midlands and through the Piedmont area of North Carolina. And Storm Prediction Center really caught wind of that and labeled this as a marginal, so 1 out of 5 risk for severe storms. And the rainfall, well, we have some rainfall that will be pretty large and in charge for parts of the central Carolinas, but of course that will make up for that with nice and dry conditions. But taking a look more at these conditions as the cold front moves through, 50s, again, really awesome and great temperatures. We go into 70s and into Saturday, again, really sitting pretty at 50s by 10 a.m. We'll surge up into, again, the 70s and then go back down into the 50s. And really, honestly, quite a great experience overall. But tonight's lows, you can expect 50s for the most part everywhere except for Florida. And in the highs tomorrow, well, you can see 70s and then 80s in Florida. And now I'll take a look. Now Josh will take a look at the lifestyle.
Thanks, Chandler. Yeah, we're going to see what's going on here in Tallahassee and the surrounding areas the next few days. Here's some aerial cameras right now, the FSU Sportsplex, where all the IM games are played. It looks pretty nice out there right now. Down south in St. George Island, maybe a nice night to catch the sunset down there. Here's here in Tallahassee right now, right in front of Doak Campbell Stadium. We got a little bit of a cloud cover right now, but a nice little sunset to get you home on your drive. Airports right now, we're not going to have any delays because that rain has definitely moved out of our area. No significant weather that we need to worry about here in Tallahassee right now. As for the rest of the country, we've also got no delays at all. Pretty nice conditions nationwide, it looks like. For our dog walking forecast tomorrow, it's going to be really nice. 7 a.m. when you're waking up, 63. We're going to ride that temperature as we go into 9 a.m. And we're only going to warm up a little bit as we get into the midday around 11 a.m. It'll be about 70 degrees. Great weather to go out for a walk. For your leech forecast this week, if you're going to be hitting the gym at all, on Wednesday we're going to have 62 degrees. Very nice for your workout walk. 73 on Thursday. And these conditions will persist into Friday as we'll be at 77 degrees. This weekend on Saturday, we have a home football game against Louisville, looking to get back on track to that FSU football that we were used to 5 years ago. 85 degrees at kickoff at 3:30. Once again, we will be playing Louisville. For your school week ahead, sunshine is the story. We've got highs in the low 80s, lows in the upper 50s to low 60s. Great weather for the rest of your week, and as we head into the weekend on Sunday, we're going to have a highs in the upper 80s, so it's definitely going to warm up a bit as we go into the rest of next week. But those lows will stay pretty constant in the low 60s. But for now, we're going to wrap up the show at the desk.
Thanks, Josh. We're definitely looking at a really active weather week for the remainder of our week, with tropical storms that have turned into tropical depressions out in the Atlantic, cold fronts coming through, and even tornadoes earlier today that we saw.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot to talk about on our show tonight, and as we see the cold front coming through, hopefully things are going to calm down a little more in Tallahassee.
That's right. It's going to drop those dew points. We'll have a bit of rain coming through tonight, but if you can make it through that, we're going to have some really nice conditions. But if you're planning on going to a public supermarket late at night, you may want to grab a sweater because it's going to be a bit on the cold side. I know I'm not for the cold, unlike most people.
Yeah, I actually, I am super excited for the cold weather. I don't know why you are not, because it's, I don't know. I just enjoy it more than the hot and humid.
Yeah, being born in Florida and raised here, just cold's not my thing. I'd rather have that sunshine and hot weather.
Yes, yes, I understand.
Follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather. We'd always like to hear from you guys. Like us on Facebook as well at FSU Weather. And hopefully you're watching us right now on YouTube, also at FSU Weather. And if you ever have pictures to send in, make sure you follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather and send us in those pictures. We'd love to have them on the show. It'd be great to be able to show people's pictures on the show.
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll see a lot of nice sunsets, I think. I think we'll see a lot of nice ones.
That's right, we're getting into fall, the sun's starting to come back over on the horizon, we'll finally start to get seeing those nice conditions.
Yes, I am also super excited about that. One final look at our 7-day forecast. Again, we'll see these low temperatures here, 56 possibly, and then we'll see us slowly warming up to about 87 by next Tuesday and 89 on Monday. So although the cold is short-lived, it'll be very nice for us here in Tallahassee. I am student meteorologist Elizabeth Temple. Have a great Wednesday evening.